and we have to normalize this discussion.
And we know
right?
some very popular figures who do that. Joe
Yeah.
Rogan, Dana
Yeah.
White.
Yeah.
They're unabashed about it, right?
It's
I mean,
huge.
and
Halle Berry was a huge
Halle
one for
Berry.
women. It's huge because when you have somebody that
what
you
happened
look
with
up to-
Halle Berry? I'm not sure I know the exact details of
Well,
what happened there.
yeah,
I know she's a prominent supporter of HRT, but
Yeah, well, she was just feeling, she was going through menopause, and she was feeling all those effects. She was
it was
presented,
impacting her marriage and her relationships, and
she was presented with the idea of taking testosterone, and she had all the typical qualms that you'd have. I don't want to grow hair in my chest, and she actually said all those things. When people said no, it's not like that. All right, they convinced her to try it. It's been life altering from her, and she's been promoting it and saying, women, yes, if you have these symptoms, you should take testosterone and with the rest of your HRT. It's very important.
so that sort of helpful in terms of the stigmatization and making
very
and
helpful.
normalizing that and getting out there. And Joe Rogan, similar.
Joe Rogan says, it absolutely admits that he takes testosterone, and he says, yeah, if you're having these symptoms, then you should too. Everybody else is. He says,
And here's a guy who's got like the most popular podcast there is on the planet,
and the
right?
planet,
and sort of he's out there, very practical thinker, right?
Yeah.
Very successful,
Yep.
both comedian and overall personality,
Yeah.
and business investor.
Yeah. When we look at where that goes wrong, and before this you asked me this question. I thought it was a good question. It's it was, what is the what are people thinking? Like, are people still trying to hide it? Are they ashamed?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I see that.
And the answer is it's a lot better. Just 5 years ago, okay, there's a couple of pretty big scandals, right? The Liver King. We did a video, and there's a video on our H4M channel about the Liver King.
He was the guy who was like pulling tractors across the fields.
Yeah, he
right?
he was here's the problem. What he was
kind of
teaching was
fantastical.
right.
Yeah.
What he was teaching was right. He was teaching about this 9 tenets. I knew it. His 9 tenets, right?
Right.
And he had these things that you do, and then you can look like him, right? Listen, it's not bad. What he was preaching was not bad.
His method was right.
Right, but what he specifically did was deny that he used testosterone or HGH or anything. And he denied it on many, many podcasts. And then when he wrote an email to Derek from More Plates, More Dates, and Derek saying, this is fraud. And he let everybody know, because that's what, we talked about that too. Derek was instrumental in normalizing the discussion.
Right.
And making it, people understand that it's safe. And by the way, he's a marketer. Like, he didn't go to school for biology or science or anything. He's just a nerd who studied a lot and liked to go through studies, and he learned all this stuff himself. And now he was very effective at normalizing the discussion. So he said, this is bad, this is fraud.
Yeah.
We need to get this out.
So the Liver King actually hurt the movement that he was trying to help.
Yeah,
through this process of not just admitting that he was on testosterone.
Thing I can do. I look like this. I can pull tractors. I eat raw livers out of the field.
Right.
It was pretty crazy, but whatever.
It was a little.
And all he had to do was say, do all these 9 tenets, and also, by the way, get your hormones right. And then he would have been fine. Be like, yeah, I take hormones because it's important. And his business wouldn't have crumbled. He wouldn't have had such a bad name. There wouldn't have been such a huge uproar. And that's all he had to do.
And so what about, let's talk about Dana White real quickly.
Yeah.
Dana White has made a statement that I find almost exactly the way I feel about the medical community. And I don't have any animosity towards that medical community. That's actually done quite well by me, and I'm happy to have found, the friendship with you and to sort of study and understand hormone optimization. I feel amazing. I take my shirt off. I look amazing. I'm nothing like a bodybuilder, but I'm fit and I'm muscly, right?
With zero CAC.
Yeah, with zero. That's right, zero CAC. But Dana White says that he just will never ever go again to a primary care provider for his general health.
For his general health.
Break his leg, he's going, right? Have a very specific, a cut, stitches, things like that, he's going, right?
You go to your doctor. Yep.
Cancer diagnosis, he's going, right? These things are, but in terms of just general health, never again.
Never again.
He talks about how he was literally bedridden.
Yeah.
Legs were frozen, right? Just could not move his legs, right? Pain all throughout his legs, right? And hormone optimization completely changed his legs.
He was on 10 different medications.
And now he's on none
Now
he's on none.
He only takes testosterone. Yeah.
So that's a normalization of this conversation, right?
Yeah.
And he's out there a lot. I mean, he gets out there a lot and talk about a guy who's been successful.
Yeah.
There's a guy who was down and out.
Yeah.
And got up and just pushed forward. And look at him now. He runs what I guess that's the largest MMA operation in the world, right?
Yeah.
The UFC.
Yep.
Yeah, it's got to be worth a couple $1 billion or well over that, right?
He sold most of it for like $8 billion, and that was a long, that was like 10 years ago or something. Yeah.
So to drive that thing forward and be successful, he needed to sort of get off the couch, get out of bed, be able to do these things. So without hormone optimization, he wouldn't be there.